welcome to the video on Ultimate Dominators. Now, I want to start this video up by saying this is not going to cover everything for Ultimate Dominators. This video may not be 1000% every information in here is 100% accurate, but I want to give everybody the basis of the outline of my understanding of the event. And please also understand that this event's brand new. Nobody's ever done it. So for me to look at the event and be like, yep, this is how it's going to work would be pretty impossible. So with that, let's jump in. So once you get into the event, you'll see this. So we're going to kind of take this tab by tab. So the first tab is you can click on the map, which is right here. There are other ways to get here if you don't find them, and you can see the entire map for all the servers. So what's important is to find your server and kind of look around your server and see what's nearby. So how this works is it's a lot like the board game Risk. For those that have ever played it, you can only conquer the territories that you and your faction control. So right now we are right here, so that means we can touch and take 2040, 1601, 2082, 1048. Currently, that's what happens. Say we decide we're going to take over 2040. Now, what that means is we can take over the territories that we touch and that they touch. And I'm going to draw this differently. So we can now take over these six instead of, these six instead of the just the four. So for everyone you take over, you can also take over their ones that they're touching. So that's step one. That's tab one. Tab two is the versus tab. So you've all been able to click on this tab. This tab goes through the different stages. Right now we're in the prep stage where you're kind of able to look around, do some pre-war things. In tomorrow, you will see war declaration. This stage is where you will see who's declared war against you, or sorry, this isn't where you see, this is where you declare war, and you can also defy. So what defying is where if somebody's taking you over, you can try to defy them later on. So if you're a server that was a really close fight, you almost won, but you lost at the last second, maybe wait a little bit and defy them later on, and you might be able to get out of it because they might be occupied with other war zones. So there's a lot of strategy to how many war zones you try to declare war on and how many you try to defend at the same time, because at any point you never know what's going to happen and who's going to do what. Then you have the announcement phase, which is where it's going to tell you the who's declared war on you and who's trying to defy you. Full-scale combat and the preparation, full-scale combat is where you can see where the engage in battles and receive faction requisition orders. This is where it's kind of interesting that they have this here, because this actually goes down here. But how this works is full-scale combat, basically the entire, normally we'd call it our server event. So step one is preparation. So this is where people with special permission can receive requisition orders, which I'll tell you what that is. And then people can appoint pioneers. I haven't figured out what a pioneer is yet. Can't find anything on it, so I can't really tell you what that is. But the requisition, pioneers are the people that are allowed to go into the other servers. Sorry, so that is the 50 people that is allowed to go into one of the other servers to try to dominate it. Restrictions is basically just telling you, hey, a bunch of stuff's not going to work how it normally does. You can't do it how you normally would, so just be careful. The combat stage, this is our actual battle where we go into the other server and dominate it, or you defend your own server. And then the settlement and post-war recommendations are kind of the results and the steps into the next stage. So then you jump into the next round, rinse, cycle, repeat, same thing again and again. So that is the versus tab. The next tab we're going to go through is the factions tab. So this tab kind of shows you what your faction is. So right now we're faction 1545. We haven't been dominated by anybody, so that's going to be our faction right now. The war zones in our faction, this will list any of them that are in your faction. It'll list the dominant war zone, and it'll kind of tell you kind of their different stages, who the leader is, things like that. Targets, so the targets will show you who you're able to target currently, and then who you're targeted by. So once the announcement stage is done, you'd actually be able to see what's been done here. Contribution, this shows all the different people and war zones that have contributed to the faction. Legions, so the Legion is once you've all merged together. So our Legion, we don't have one because it's obviously before the beginning. High Council, this is kind of your leadership group of the Legion. So these are your 8 basically positions that all get a boost to different various things. Basically this is your 8 whatchamacallit for the capital. That's the word I'm looking for, the 8 council for capital. So this is just the same thing but for the entire Legion or faction. I'm not really sure what the difference between Legion and faction is. So, and then battle record shows you what happened in each round, so that's in there also. In settings, you know, public info, permissions, it's basically like the alliance page, just slightly different. After that, we have the faction preparation stage, so that's down here. Sorry, my circle didn't work. This is probably the one that you're all going to be doing over the next few days anyways. So in here you have your daily tasks, so make sure you come in here, do these few things. These daily tasks refresh every day, and they help you get faction buffs. So those faction buffs can be, if you click on them up here, so gathering 10%, HP and attack 10%, training, march speed 10%, and then repair factory plus 50 for all commanders. So definitely something you want to make sure everybody's being active and doing these daily tasks so that you guys can get these. I'll show you how to do these right now. So train units. So to train units, all you have to do is obviously just train your units. So I'm going to click through a bunch of these as fast as I can. Hopefully I have enough space for 50. Thought I cleared enough, but we'll see. Okay, good. I cleared enough for 50. So once you do that, you go back in, you hit claim, and it's done for the day. You'll get all your rewards here. So you'll get some fame, a faction buff progress. So that's, you get one of those to get towards that 3,000. And then the other various stuff, these contribution points, which I'll show you what you do with those later. There is a weekly one, so if everybody does 10, you get 5 more plus a big contribution point. So definitely something that you need a very active server to get these buffs and actually maximize what you need here. And then in the faction barracks, this is where you're able to donate troops. Now, how the donated troops work is down below are your troops that you're able to donate right now. You can click on it, you move it over, you donate it. Now, some things I want to warn you is you have 5 days to donate troops. So you don't have to donate everything on the first day. No reason to, especially since you can rebuild however many X free, depending on your levels of weight and things like that. So you can rebuild however many free. So pace yourself. You have 5 days to do this. Nothing you need done right away. I'm just going to donate the 55 I just built because I can rebuild them all. You'll see donation successful. That's done. Now, if you're one of the people that can get one of the requisition orders, you'll see right here where it says 70 of 1,000. So once that's at 1,000, you can't get any more of those. And 100 individuals can claim 10 of them. So 100 times 10 is 1,000. That's where that comes from. So what it is once the stage begins that you're able to claim these requisition orders, you're able to come in here, claim it. Now, what you're able to claim is, I think it says in here better. Down here, you can see you're able to claim your highest level unit or Hall of Valhalla units. So basically, this is a way for you to come claim troops. So think of this like those +0, +1, +2 cards. Don't know how many you get with each requisition. It doesn't say anywhere. Kind of awesome, but I'm assuming it's probably 1, just knowing them, but it might be 10, it might be 50, it might be 100, who knows, but each card's going to be worth X amount of troops, and you're going to be able to claim that and have it kind of sitting in the back waiting to help you fight during those wars. So once the round is over, you do lose these requisition orders. So make sure you give them all out. Make sure you place all those units. They do go away after each stage. Or sorry, after each round. Once round 2 starts, all those 70 that we have there would all disappear. So this is a week by week thing. More active servers are going to get more of these. Less active servers are going to get less. And servers that obviously have whales are going to get a lot more because they're going to have people that can rebuild more troops. So just something to think about, especially when you have the Valhallas and things like that. It makes things a lot simpler to accomplish these tasks. So the other thing in here is you'll see up here at the top there's this trade button. Sorry, I didn't mean to click out of that a second ago. This is where you come in to use your contribution points. So in here, your typical store where you come in and get to use things. Some things I would recommend are think of how you do or don't, or think of how you are able to acquire things or not able to acquire things. Gold shards, unless you absolutely need them, I would not get those. I say this, and I say this about every event, because you get gold shards from everything. You don't get exclusive skill shards, which help you work on your heroes. You don't get deco shards, which help work on your overall stats. You don't get the HT chips, which I actually also wouldn't recommend these because, you know, an HT is a 1 march thing. Once your HT dies, unless you're a whale, you're out of it for 5 minutes again. So always better to work on your overall stats instead of just the 1 march. Then you have your things down at the bottom, which is your formation stuff and your mastery. Always recommend those. Next to that, you have the merit store, which merit points you get once you actually start fighting. And this is a very similar thing. There aren't any special moves, so you can use your own march-ups, your speed march-ups and teleports as needed. But there's other things in here to gather as well. So that is that store. The only other thing are kind of reward-based. So the Dominator rankings, so this very bottom left one here. Oh, why did that stay? That's interesting. The faction ranking, so this shows you right now who's the most famous based upon how much you guys have done. And then your subordinate war zones, so how many war zones you've taken over. Individual rankings. I'm guessing this is going to update later on. Maybe it's a once a day update type of thing. It'd be kind of crazy for it to update all the time. So then the Dominator rewards. So in here you'll see your rewards. This is based on rounds. So round 1 rewards. So you can get these rewards each round. So strongest faction right now is 770. So they'd get the top one. Commendation. I'm guessing this is probably... doesn't say what commendation. Oh, commendation's rank 2. They'll get the rank 3, and then so on and so forth down. You can see the different awards. You can click them. That's also in the ranking there. Conquest achievements. So in here you have other rewards. So as you do these you can click on these as you do these. And you can also click here to get into this. The contribution ones, as you do these, you will unlock other rewards. So you'll get these different contribution points. You'll get your gems. Once you're in battle, you have all these ones as well to get. So once you get those, make sure you come in, click this rewards here, and get your rewards as you do multiples, because there's additional rewards for doing the rewards. Typical top war that they can just combine them all as one, but I enjoy it. Extra rewards, never a bad thing. Here's the store again if you need it. It's another way to get to it is in the rewards here, and then the rankings. So in here there seems to be some form of duel that pioneers are able to do. Not really sure about what is needed to be done to get these. Not a whole lot in the description here to say, so this is a video, something to cover for future rounds once we kind of get a little better. I may put out a new video once round 1 is done, just so we can kind of see what happens and I can further clarify. But guys, this is the event. This is kind of the outline of the event. I wish you all well. Good luck. Have fun with this. This is going to be a fun 8 weeks of war, basically. So with that, please remember to like and subscribe, and see ya.